Okay, let's move on to our second creative financing strategy, which is the owner carry or seller carry. Now, what we're looking for is a seller who owns a property free and clear, who is willing to accept most of the purchase price in the form of financing. That is, you give a small amount or very little down, and the seller takes a note as most of the purchase price, and that note is collateralized or secured by a mortgage or deed of trust against the property. So you would get title to the property, the seller would get some money, a note, and then collateral as a lien against the property. Ownership would be in your name or in the name of a trust or an LLC that you set up, and the seller would have a lien against the property. If you don't pay on the note, they could foreclose it under state law. Now, typically, when I make an offer to a seller who has a free and clear property, and by the way, you might be wondering, who has a free and clear property these days? Everybody's mortgaged up to their eyeballs, and the reality is 31% of America is free and clear. Nearly a third of properties don't have mortgages against them. By the way, can you buy a list of properties that are free and clear from public record sources that you can mail to and propose an offer? Absolutely. So if you come across a seller who's free and clear, typically I like to make two offers on such a property. And one is going to be a lowball cash offer, and the other one is going to be a terms offer. Now, typically the cash offer, depending on what work the property needs, but typically is going to be in the range of 65 to 70% of ARV minus repairs that takes to get it in that condition. So that's going to be a fairly low offer. The terms offer, what I like to do is offer someone in the realm of 80 to 90% of ARV, assuming it doesn't need any substantial work. I mean, if a little bit of carpet and paint is one thing, but if it needs any substantial work, we're going to subtract that off there. And I offer them what I call the 5-5-5 plan. I got that from presidential candidate Herman Cain. I think he was 999. So I got that 5-5-5. Now, by the way, this is between you and me, 5-5-5. You don't say this to the seller, 5-5-5, but what you offer is 5% down, or a number that is reasonably close to 5% down, no more than 5% interest, and no less than a 5-year balloon. A balloon is a premature payoff of the loan. So, for example, we usually amortize this note over 30 years. We could have a 5-year balloon to say after 5 years, whatever is remaining on the balance would be due at that point. Now, when you buy, you don't want to have any balloon. But if the seller says, well, I want a balloon, and they want a 2-year balloon, then you can negotiate and say, no, I want a 10-year balloon, and then arrive at no less than 5, preferably 7. Anything less than a 5-year balloon is a little too risky for you, because then you have the seller refinance the property when that balloon comes up. 5% interest, again, I wouldn't start at 5%, I'd offer less. And I don't say 5% down to the seller. If it's a $200,000 property, 10 grand is obviously 5%, but that's too obvious because they can figure that out in their head. What I would say is $9,200 or $11,300, some number that they can't do the math easily in their head, and they see, oh, I'm getting X amount cash. Now, the reason I make two offers is, first of all, psychologically, if you offer just a terms offer, the answer could be yes or no. If you offer A or B, it doesn't occur to a lot of people that there's a C option, which is none of the above. So they're going A or B, A or B, A or B. And in the order of things, offer this one first, this one second. If you start with the low ball cash, you might really tick them off because it's so low that they just don't want to deal with you. In terms of a terms offer, 80 to 90% of ARV. So if they're asking already a fairly reasonable price, and you could say, hey, listen, I'll give you what you're asking if you give me my terms, but if I have to pay cash, it's going to be a lower number. That's a good negotiating strategy. But I like to offer A and B. And typically, if I really want this one, the terms offer, I'm going to make this one sting a little more. Maybe offer them 60, 62%. So it stings so much that they go back to this offer, and it seems better by comparison. Okay? But again, remember, offer terms first because it's a higher price. Even though it's not the terms they're looking for, they're not going to be insulted as if you offer the cash lowball and they see that number and they immediately blow up at you. So you got to be careful about that. And at these numbers, and you got to make sure that you have a back-end strategy. So if you're going to rent the property, or you could sell it on a lease with option like we talked about earlier, instead of a sandwich, just the back-end part of it. But make sure you have enough room there where you have a little bit of equity, you have a small down, that you have preferably no balloon, but at least 5 years to work with, a fixed rate payment of no more than 5%. And at today's rents and prices in the right price range, this should work sufficiently fine for you, even though you're paying 80 to 90% of the price. You're dealing with very little down, a reasonable interest rate, and preferably no balloon, or long enough balloon period that it's not going to be a problem for you. And again, in terms of negotiating, don't say 555, just offer numbers that say X and then negotiate from there, but you don't want to do much more than 5% down, 5% interest, and certainly no less than a 5-year balloon.